Hello, this is Travis Chatwin with Beach and Sun Homes, and welcome to another episode of Everyday Encinitas, where our goal is to spotlight local businesses and community organizations around the area and learn a little bit more about the people behind the scenes. Today we're going to meet with Talia Doms here at Doms Acupuncture here in Encinitas. Let's go in and see what she has to say. Back to another episode of Everyday Encinitas. I am with Talia Doms. This is going to be an exciting event because I'm really kind of curious about acupuncture and how this all happens, and I luckily just caught the tail end of some cupping, some acupuncture. Tell me a little bit about acupuncture and how this all started for you.
Those are two very loaded questions. Well, acupuncture in general I feel like is getting more and more popular.
Okay.
I specialize mostly in treating sport-related injuries, but also chronic injuries like chronic neck tension, low back pain. Those are, I feel like, the most common things people seek out treatment for.
Right. And so when I first got a hold of you, I was actually talking about some injuries that I had from the snowboarding world. You see quite a few sports injuries here, as well as other people for just therapy or just longevity or healthy bodies, I guess. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think most of the time people just don't know what acupuncture treats, and so they hear, oh, someone had low back pain or they had an injury that it worked for, and then they come in for that particular pain, and then the more we get to know each other, the more they talk about different things that are wrong, and so we end up working with many different conditions like insomnia, anxiety, stress, just things that people never thought to seek it out for. And so it's really great because we can treat everybody holistically.
And so acupuncture's been around for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Thousands.
I mean, so
think
this
like
is...
at least 2,000-3,000.
And
like
so
the
how
first
did you get
documented.
involved in acupuncture?
Got hooked up with an acupuncture clinic here in Encinitas, did an internship for a little bit, and just fell in love with it. I had some of my own health issues, like anxiety was a big one that we worked with, and just within that 6 months, it was completely changed, and I was hooked. And so I
That's
decided to
amazing.
go back to school for my master's to get licensed.
So that's amazing. So me not knowing much of anything about acupuncture, I come in completely green. And most people don't really know or experience acupuncture. What would you say is the premise behind acupuncture when you stick that needle in? Number one, if you're scared of needles, should we be afraid?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You really don't feel much of anything.
Right.
Obviously, it depends on what we're treating to.
Sure,
if we're
sure.
treating more muscle stuff, I want to get a reaction, like a muscle twitch or an ache that actually helps reset the muscle and
Okay.
kind of corrects that imbalance. But if it's kind of general, like hands, feet, stomach, it's really gentle. You don't really feel much of anything at all.
So when we're dealing with needles and acupuncture, is it the nerves that we're trying to attach, or how is that needle working in association with the body and healing itself?
You're kind of on the right road with nerves.
Okay.
A lot of the channels, the traditional channels that Chinese path, they travel along nerve roots. So like the sciatica is a big one that we treat. Depends on where people are feeling the symptoms, but it's cool that you can see that channel traverses that way. Or
And sticking a needle in that would actually...
not in the nerve.
Okay, not in the nerve.
Near the nerve.
Okay, near the nerve.
Yeah.
And that it relieves pressure of some kind, or...
It kind of, we say it activates the channel.
Activates,
And
okay.
so you're basically making your body pay attention to where you're putting the needle. And it depends on where you're putting the points. If you're working with anxiety, it's more of balancing the channels that are associated with that. So you strategically choose certain points on
Right.
certain channels, and they all kind of communicate with each other to balance that. But that's basically what it does.
That's amazing. And so along with acupuncture, you also have cupping. So tell me a little bit about cupping and how that works. And obviously being completely green and seeing it for the first time, that was pretty exciting to see that. It was, and again, thank you for for showing that.
Yeah.
But what is the cupping and how does that really work?
Cupping is a form of myofascial decompression. So a lot of people are becoming more familiar with it now because like the Olympic sports teams will have it.
Right.
Michael Phelps had it all over his back when they had the swim competitions. But traditionally it moves chi and it moves blood. It can help stimulate the lymphatic system, it can help boost your immune system, it helps pull out kind of stagnant blood and stagnant chemicals that get stuck in the muscle and fascial layer that keeps them really tight and tense and sore. But I do it on most people that come in because it's a great form of stress relief. People love the way it feels. You can leave them, put a whole bunch on and leave them stationary, or just do a couple and slide them around. I kind of mix it a little bit. Most people like the combination of letting them sit for a little bit, feeling it really decompress everything, and then sliding it around. It feels like a massage. And it's pretty interesting always to see where the dark spots are, but usually that's a sign of a lot of stagnation.
Right.
And so it's always interesting to see if it's over a certain organ or channel and see what the association is with the
That makes
symptoms.
sense. That makes sense. So when you're talking about that little mark that it's making on you, and what you did was actually pretty cool, how you would actually run it across the muscle, run it across the body. But regarding the mark that it's leaving, so is that pulling all the blood to the surface? Is that kind of what it's doing, is breaking it up?
Exactly, yeah. So it can get stuck in there. And when fascia is really tight over the muscle, it kind of can lock it in too. So it's decompressing that, allowing more blood flow, optimizing lymphatic circulation. So you're bringing it out so the lymphatic system can flush it out more effectively. You want to make space for fresher blood flow, right? More oxygenated blood, so that helps pull out all that stagnation and allows for fresher, more oxygenated blood to flow in and keeps the muscle supple and strengthens the muscle.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I got to be honest, when I saw that, and you see the skin pop up through that, you're putting a flame inside basically a glass cup, and it goes right to the skin. And then
Flame doesn't touch the skin. You don't
flame
feel
doesn't
the
touch
heat.
the skin, but what's happening is it is pulling all the oxygen out, I'm assuming, and it's
Yeah.
pulling the skin up through.
Exactly.
And as you're rubbing it across, it's just pulling all the blood to the surface, and it was really cool to see, because usually, I mean, what I thought was that the cup just stayed there, but that's one way to do it, then the
Yeah.
other way is to rub it across.
Yeah, and it depends on who I'm working on too. That the stationary cups where I put a whole bunch on someone's back or quad or whatever I'm working on, it's not for everybody.
Right.
It can be a little intense, so if people tend to be.
It was
a
pretty
little more
intense. I'm
deficient.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I looked at it and I'm like, whoa, that's
Well, it's
incredible.
pretty cool when they're like 15 cups on someone's
Right.
back, but you have to have a pretty robust constitution, I feel like, to handle that. So athletes are really great for that because they can usually handle a little bit more intense treatment
Sure.
like that, whereas someone who's a little bit more deficient or a chronic illness or something like that might not handle that so well. So I tend to be a little more gentle with people like that. Generally, people love cupping. I think it's fascinating for most people, and
Yeah.
they love having the marks.
It's the first time I've ever seen it. I mean, literally, it was the first time I've ever seen it in action, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And she felt great. And yeah, that was great. So besides cupping and acupuncture, what else do you offer here as far as the health and longevity of your clients? What else do you offer?
I do a lot of facial acupuncture too.
Okay.
So cosmetic acupuncture is really big. I feel like that gets a lot of people curious about acupuncture because most don't want to get plastic surgery or they don't want to get Botox or injections. So it's a really great alternative for people who don't want to do that. It's really great it can actually lift muscles. People come in a lot for sagging in the neck and the jawline. It can help lift and tone muscles, helps with complexion, it can help with acne, just overall youthfulness and prolonging
Wow.
it. It's pretty cool.
Wow,
And
just acupuncture.
just acupuncture. Well, and you have to take care of yourself at home and have a good
Eating
skincare
right
regimen.
and all that. When people are walking around town and they have their first experience or their 100th experience with you, and they're talking about getting acupuncture, and they say, you got to go see Talia because, what do you think they would say?
I'm awesome.
I'm
No.
awesome!
I think I was telling you earlier, I kind of pride myself in a different approach to treating sports injuries. Not to say it's better, but it's just different where I feel like a lot of people treat in the context of like athletic trainers or like physical therapists, and it's a very active clinic. And for me, I think stress plays a huge role in pretty much every one of my patients, whether they realize it or not. I'm always working on that to some extent.
Definitely.
And so I like to have a quiet space and a calming environment, and I let them rest for about a half hour so they can actually get to a state where their sympathetic nervous system shuts down. So that's the fight or flight mode that we're kind of always in, and that's why people have so many problems, is because they have a hard time getting out of that. And I feel like now that everyone's so connected with cell phones and computers and everything else, we're always on the go and our minds are always going, that
Right.
no one really
Makes
takes that
sense.
time. So I like to create a really calming space to where people have that half hour where they can, unplug and they can just rest and sleep, and people usually get better results when they have that time to do that.
Yeah,
I feel like my patients like that and they respond really well to that, and so I
Yes, well, and you have a beautiful office
Thank you.
and easily found. And so for the viewers at home, how do we find you? I mean, number, email, how do we find you? Let everybody know so we can make sure and look you up.
Okay. Well, you can call or text me at 760-452-0865, or via my website you can contact me. It's domsacupuncture.com, DAHMS. That's a really easy way. It has my phone number on there. It has a contact form and email. So those are really easy ways to get a hold of me. Instagram, domsacu is my ID, so or however you call it, my username. So those are all great ways to get a hold of me.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time, and it was wonderful to meet you. I know we've been looking forward to this for quite a long time. This is one of these treatments that today was my first to be able to see this done today. It was awesome, and she's been wonderful. If you guys get a chance to try out acupuncture, try out cupping, come and see Talia Doms here at Doms Acupuncture. This is Travis Chatwin from Everyday Encinitas. I expect you to look her up. It's going to be worth it. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Everyday Encinitas. It was a pleasure to meet Talia Doms here at Doms Acupuncture. If you like what you see, please like or share on Facebook or YouTube. And if you are a local business or a community organization who'd like to be featured on an up-and-coming video, please give me a call at 619-752-4663. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.